So this is Tony Manwaring, Tomorrow's Company, with Hunter Lovins. Hunter, the arguments around climate prosperity, that the new economy is one that has its own great logic, is one that you set forward very powerfully. Could you summarize that argument, please?
Sure. The collapse of the old economy is driven in large part by the fundamental unsustainability of the way that we've been doing business. We think the economic press talks about we're going to get back to normal, we're in the recovery, the green shoots are appearing. And yet if we don't address the fundamental unsustainability, the fact that we are destroying the climate, we're losing every major ecosystem on the planet, we're running into a water crisis, we're burning oil at an unsustainable rate and coal and using all of the resources unsustainably. If we don't deal with that, we will not achieve a recovery. We will merely recreate the conditions that will drive the next collapse. The only way to get to anything like prosperity is to unleash this new energy economy, is to solve the climate crisis, because we have all the technologies it'll take to do that. We know how to do it profitably. Companies are already moving in this direction. DuPont set a goal of cutting its greenhouse gas emissions 65% below its 1990 levels by 2010. They've done it. They're 80% below globally, for a savings between 2000 and 2005 of $3 billion. They're now saving $2.2 billion a year in eco-efficiency. This is the same as their profitability. Same thing at a community level. If you're a little business, changing out your light bulbs, caulking your windows, stopping the unnecessary waste of energy goes right to your bottom line. One little real estate office in Florida did this, saved $7,900 a year. Prosperity depends upon solving the climate crisis, implementing more sustainable ways of doing business. This is what we call the sustainability imperative. The companies that lead this will be first to the future. They'll be the billionaires of tomorrow. The ones that don't, well, they won't be a problem because they won't be around.
I've been reading Natural Capitalism recently, and I was introduced to that, I think, by Ray Anderson of Interface, who we are delighted is going to be giving our annual lecture soon. And Ray says, what is the point of a system of production and consumption which is really good at one thing, producing so much waste? And encourages us all to think about a different business model. Can you expand on that and just describe just how wasteful we are and what the logic of changing that is?
Sure. I helped write a book a few years back called Natural Capitalism. We drew the principles of natural capitalism in large part from what Ray was implementing at the time. Ray is one of the pioneers in showing that behaving in a more responsible way is simply a better way to do business. So the first thing he did was to squeeze out unnecessary waste. And waste reduction, energy efficiency, resource productivity was delivering 30% of Interface's profit. It kept Interface probably alive during the prior recession. It gained them enormous goodwill. Companies wanted to do business with them because of what they were doing to be more responsible. It energized their people. Ray found everything that he did to behave more responsibly added to shareholder value. So the next thing that he did was to redesign how he made his product. He hired a woman named Janine Benyus, the founder of biomimicry. He worked with a dream team of sustainability experts to help Interface completely redesign how they did business. He also is managing the company to be restorative of human and natural capital, the forms of capital that are in short supply. Conventional business counts, manages financial and manufactured capital, but those are only two of the forms of capital that good capitalists will be seeking to enhance as the basis of creating greater wealth. There's also human capital, natural capital. And Ray realized that he will have a more profitable business, a more durable business, a business that the best talent wants to come and work for, a business with lower risk, by making a fundamental corporate commitment to behave more sustainably. He has done this. This is one of the reasons that Ray is such a pioneer in this field, and he has delivered consistent value to his shareholders. I know, I was one. I bought a little bit of Interface stock. When I sold it because I needed to put solar panels on my roof, I did very well, thank you.
Yesterday, we joined a number of people to launch our report Beyond Accounting, which looks at how non-financial indicators are captured in sustainability reporting and wants to ask what impact that is having. But for some time now, you've been talking about the integrated bottom line. What's that, Hunter?
The integrated bottom line is, I think, a better way of doing financial reporting. You've heard the phrase the triple bottom line, John Elkington's great contribution. You take profit and you bolt onto it people and planet. But they tend to become cost centers, and this has been the traditional environmentalist perspective of, well, whatever it costs, we have to take care of people and the planet. The report that Tomorrow's Company launched is possibly the most critical conversation in driving greater sustainability in business. The concept of an integrated bottom line helps you to realize that everything you do to enhance sustainability in a company builds core business value. Profitability, using resources more efficiently, cuts your cost. And in company after company after company, acting to protect the climate by using less energy, implementing resource productivity, using materials that are more sustainable, cuts your cost. This goes straight to the traditional bottom line. But there are about 13 constituent elements of what we call the integrated bottom line, all of which have a financial translation, but which have traditionally been defined as sustainability measures. So climate protection cuts a company's risk, cuts a company's insurance cost, because, for example, you no longer have to worry about the Carbon Disclosure Project coming after you. You have better access to capital because the Carbon Disclosure Project represents institutional investors with $55 trillion in assets. In my country, the first lawsuits have already issued against companies because they're not managing their carbon footprint. Driving innovation. Companies pay billions to get enhanced innovation. Instead, set what Jim Collins, the business author of Good to Great and Built to Last, calls a BHAG, a big, hairy, audacious goal, like carbon neutral. When ST Microelectronics did this, they went from the number 12 chip maker in the world to the number 6. They're gaining market share, branding, brand equity. Consumers want to do business with companies that they perceive as responsible, attracting and retaining the best talent. This may be the most important business asset in today's business environment. Labor productivity. Once you have these people, if you build good green buildings, you'll get 6 to 16% higher labor productivity. Again, every aspect of behaving more sustainably enhances core business value. This is the integrated bottom line.
Hunter, we've been talking about stewardship as we've been getting to know each other over the last few days, and Tomorrow's Company has last week actually launched its stewardship scorecard, building on an earlier report, Tomorrow's Owners, that argued that different kinds of owners, whether they're sovereign wealth funds or pension funds, should all be good stewards. And I think for you, that concept of stewardship really resonates, and indeed your presentation today ended up making use of that argument. So, Hunter, what does stewardship mean for you?
Stewardship is a better way to do business. It's a better way to do business because it will deliver enhanced profitability, enhanced core business value. It will also, however, enable corporate leaders to find real meaning in what they do. Many corporate leaders are nearing retirement. They're asking themselves, what has my life been worth? What legacy am I going to leave? By looking at your company, this little being that you are truly the steward of, and asking this question, if this company were a child, how am I enabling this company to become a responsible adult, to take its place in the world and make a difference? This is the concept of stewardship. Sure, it's great to make money. Money is a tool. But as Ray Anderson asks, when you meet your maker, what's your conversation going to be about? Next quarter's share price? I don't think so. It's going to be about something deeper. And this is the conversation that the best corporate leaders are now having with themselves, with all of their stakeholders, with their shareholders, with their employees, with the communities in which they do business, and thinking in this term of stewardship. The companies that are doing this have the highest stock value of their competitive set, fastest growing stock value, 25% higher than their competitors. They're well protected from value erosion, even in a down economy. The worst performing companies, most likely to have nobody in charge of sustainability. Asking these questions of stewardship of, is my company a responsible citizen in the world, is the way to drive outstanding financial performance, outstanding business performance. It's also, I think, a much better way for you personally to find your place in this universe and to leave a legacy. J.R.R. Tolkien, in the book Lord of the Rings, had Gandalf speak a line that I use a lot. He said, "The rule of no realm is mine, but all worthy things that are in peril as the world now stands, those are my care. And for my part I shall not wholly fail, if anything passes through this night that can still grow fair and bear fruit and flower again in the days to come. For I too am a steward, did you not know?" Not a bad maxim for corporate leadership.